April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the month to raise public awareness about sexual harassment, assault, abuse, which has been consistently growing into a huge social and legal menace, and educate communities on how to prevent it. The theme for this year is I Ask has been identified as the mantra to empower everyone by bringing in the practice of getting consent before any sexual contact.
The goal of SAM: raise public awareness about sexual violence and educate communities on how to prevent it. To raise visibility about sexual assault and take measures to prevent it through education about the healthy sexuality, consent, and bystander intervention. To organize the campaigns by which individuals and communities can stop sexual assault before it happens by changing behaviors and promoting respect. This is the goal to promote the idea that sex consent to a normal and essential part of sex.
Sexual assault: illegal sexual contact with a person which may done by physical force upon a person without consent. Rape, attempt to rape, is inflicted upon a person who is incapable of giving consent, intellectual or physical disability, of a person who places the assailant in a position of trust, by the power of authority on a person, by intimidation or coercion, by threats to divulge desecrating information, by making false promises on a person when the person is not in alert state, under the influence of alcohol and other psychotropic drugs, on a person unable to respond, example sleep.
Sexually assault can include any type of sexually associated contact with underage persons. As per law, 16 years and below. Any type of sexual contact with or without consent. Touching, fondling them in their private parts with or without consent. Forcing someone who is underage to view sexually explicit material. Creating sexually explicit material with such people with or without consent.
Sexual assault can also be anything that forces a person to join in unwanted sexual activities or attention, which includes verbal, visual, or non contact, such as voyeurism or peeping when someone watches private sexual acts without consent, exhibitionism when someone exposes himself or herself in public, sexual harassment or threats, forcing someone to pose for sexual pictures, sending someone unwanted text or sex, texting sexual photos or messages, making advances verbally or physically with the intention to lure the person into sexual contact even when there is resistance.
What does consent mean? Consent is a clear yes to sexual activity. Not saying no does not mean you have given consent. Your consent means you say a yes with complete knowledge of what the contact is all about and its consequences. Your choice of saying no is not controlled by any intimidation or coercion or threat. You know and understand what is going on. You are not unconscious, blacked out, asleep, underage, or have an intellectual disability. You know what you want to do. You are able to say what you want to do or don't want to do. You are aware that you are giving consent and are not impaired by alcohol or drugs. Only a verbal yes means yes to sexual activity.
What is not considered consent in sexual activity? Silence. Just because someone does not say no doesn't mean she is saying yes, having consented before. Just because someone said yes in the past does not mean you are saying yes now. Consent must be part of every sexual activity every time. Being in a relationship, being married, dating, or having sexual contact with someone before does not mean that there is consent now. not showing resistance because of being in high state due to drugs or alcohol, not fighting back. Not putting up a physical fight does not mean that there is consent. Wearing sexual clothing, dancing, or flirting when a woman or girl wears or how she behaves does not show consent for sexual activity.
Who commits sexual assault? Sexual assault is most often committed by someone the victim knows. This may be a friend, an acquaintance, and person with whom there was an earlier relationship, a relative, a date, or a partner. Sometimes a stranger commits either using an available opportunity or with a plan devised well in advance. Women and men commit sexual assault, but more than 90% of the people who commit sexual violence are men against the women, according to the available statistics.
What steps can I take to be safer in social situations? You cannot prevent sexual assault, but you can take steps to be safer around others. Go to parties or gathering with friends, arrive together, check in with each other, and leave together. Talk about your plans for the evening so that everyone knows what to expect. Meet first dates or new people in a public place. Listen to your instincts or gut feelings. You are the only person who gets to say whether you feel safe. Unless the otherwise you have plans for sexual relationship, avoid meeting even your close people in a completely private environment. Be assertive. Don't worry about hurting someone's feeling or being disliked. If you feel uncomfortable in any situation for any reason, leave. If the person is preventing you from leaving, try to get someone else's attention who can help you get to safety. If you find yourself alone with someone who don't trust, leave. Look out for your friends and ask them to look out for you. If your friend seems much too drunk for the amount of alcohol she drank, is acting out of character, or seems too drunk to stay safe in general, get her to a safer place.
Ask your friends to do the same for you. Learn more about how you can help prevent sexual assault as a bystander. Have a code word with your family and friends. That means, come, get me, I need help, or call me with a fake emergency. Call or text them and use the code word to let them know you need help. Download an app on your phone. Search in your phone's App Store for free women's safety apps you can download and use it if you feel unsafe or are threatened. Some apps share your location with your friends or the police if you need help. Be aware of how much you drink. Drinking alcohol does not make the attack of your fault. But if you are drunken or high, you cannot consent to sexual activity or you may not understand what is happening. Maintain alertness about what you drink in parties and when you are in a privacy with any other person because someone could add alcohol or date rape drugs to it. Many drugs have no smell or taste and can cause you pass out and not remember what happened. Be aware of your surroundings. If you are walking alone, don't wear headphones so you can hear what's happening around you. Also, as much as you can, stay in busy, well lit areas, especially at night. Have a plan to get home. If you plan to use a ride share services from an app, make sure your phone is charged. Make sure you note the numbers of cab before you enter and inform any close contact the same. Check to unlock the child lock in the cabs before you board. Move to populated or well-lit areas whenever you suspect stalking.
How can I help someone who was sexually assaulted? Exhibit empathetic listening and offer comfort. Remind this person you believe them.
Reinforce the message that she or he is not at fault. Defend them against people who tries to advocate the status she or he asked for it. Explain that it is natural to experience confusion, have problems remembering what happened, or feel angry, numb, or ashamed. Assist them when they want to report the incident to law enforcing authorities. Guide them to use helplines to overcome their distress. Motivate them to meet a professional psychologist who can help them to overcome the trauma. If you are assaulted or if you find yourself in a situation that feels unsafe, it is not your fault. Sexual assault is never the victim's fault, never matter what she was wearing, drinking, or doing at the time of the assault.